Hi, welcome to the Open Book. My name is Julie Ann Helm, the publisher and founder of the Pepper Tree Press Book Publishing Company here in Sarasota. I'd like to welcome my first guest today on the Open Book. This is Kevin Button and his illustrator and mother-in-law, Linda Guritz, right? Did I say that correctly? Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. And you are a new author, and if you could show us the book, that would be great. And tell us the title and all about it.
The Giving Gnome, and it's about a gnome. It takes place in New Boston, New Hampshire, in the snow, and it's about giving. That's the primary focus of the book, and it's trying to teach the children how to give. Okay. Give of themselves.
Good, good. So it has a great message behind it.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, we're trying to get the children to understand what it's like to give to someone else without any type of reward. So the book is about the gnome. He's got a very special gift, and he gives of himself, which is his beard, and you can read the story.
Well, we're going to
give it all away.
Yeah, so what inspired you? Let's talk about that first. What inspired you to write it?
The children, my children.
Your own children.
My children inspired me to write the story. You know, I think two things. The children, Trevor and Ayla. Trevor's 6 and Ayla's 2.5, and they were definitely my inspiration. The second inspiration would be the school that they attend. At least Trevor, he attends the Sarasota Waldorf School.
Oh yeah, great things about Waldorf. That's great.
So it's a very creative school, and there's a lot of imagination and miracles and just a lot of fun that happens within the school. So with me being around the school and Trevor and hearing the things and getting involved with the school and the people, it kind of created something within me that I never knew existed.
And you were just inspired, and
I
you
was
just sat down
extremely
and just
inspired by it.
How long did it take you to write it?
One night, about 3 years ago, I made up the story, just sitting in bed with my son. That's what we do. We go to bed and I tell a story. Good. And the story just came out, and it was always in my mind.
Yeah.
And
that happens when you're a
my
writer.
my wife Leslie encouraged me to write it down finally, but.
Good.
Yeah, so it didn't take me very long at all to write it.
Okay, terrific. And Trevor is how old?
6.
He's 6, and Ayla is
2.5.
2.5. She's got the cutest little pigtails and everything. Okay, cool. And so the title. Tell us about the title. How did you come up with that?
Well, the title, about 3 years ago, when the story was first told to Trevor, started my personal transformation within my life, and it was kind of revolved around giving. Around paying it forward.
Paying it forward.
Paying it forward and doing things for other people. And it was a very overwhelming transformation for me that I just wanted to give back. And the giving part of the book stems from that, where how can I pay it forward? How can I get it out there? And then I thought to myself, who are the people that need to hear the message? And it's the children, because they're the purest. And they're going to take the information in and really make things happen within our world. They're our future. So that's the giving part of it. The gnome part of it is my fascination with gnomes. We hear a lot about gnomes in the Waldorf school, and it's just, a gnome is just, they're just such a creative little creature. And they do so many things. In fact, they say that the gnome is, he protects treasures, and usually underneath the ground. So trolls and gnomes and fairies is, I find fascinating. I incorporate those guys into my stories, So maybe a little childish fascination that I have, that's kind of coming out. Yeah, I'm living it, which is great.
That's so great. Now, you have sort of a built-in illustrator, right? So how did you find your illustrator? Did you have to look far?
Yeah, not too far.
No, picked up the phone.
Extremely fortunate. And that's the thing, that's the great thing about it. It was like, the story came about, and I'm talking to my wife, and she's saying, you got to write the story down. And then it's like, okay, then what's the next steps? Well, you need to have the pictures. And it just went off like a light bulb. Wow. My mother-in-law is extremely talented.
Yes, she is.
Just extremely talented, and it just worked beautifully. I picked up the phone, and she can probably tell you.
Yeah,
I thought she was excited. Yeah.
Let me hear. How was that experience for you, Linda?
It was a new experience for me because although my mom, who I dedicated my part of the paintings to, had introduced me to art and painting when I was very small, and I had been painting with oil paintings for many, many years. But watercolors which is what this is, was a whole new,
Open it up and show us
which
a
was a
couple.
whole new venture for me. They're not nearly as forgiving or as are the, well, here's some of the pictures.
Oh, yes. My favorite.
This is the eagle in the story, and here's the gnome at his house. So it was exciting for me, but also rather challenging, and it took me a whole lot longer to do the paintings than it did for him to write it.
But that, that's true. I mean, that's true. But it's with both. It's a nice mesh, and they both complement each other.
And we worked, really well together because he had in his mind, what he would like to have this portrayed as, and I could pretty much tell what vein he was going in. So, but anyway, it's been fun.
Yeah, it's absolutely priceless in our minds at Pepper Tree, so we love it.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
love it. Yeah. Can you share a little of your current work that you're working on with the audience? Because I know you're like, I can
I'm
see
so excited about that.
I can see your wheels turning.
We are working on the new Giving Gnome book.
Okay.
It's called Giving Gnome's Harvest, and the harvest moon is a big thing, especially up in New England where I'm from. And typically, the harvest moon means, or what it represents is, it gives the farmers the amount of time, a longer amount of time to harvest their crops in the evening. So the moon is so bright that it shines down on their crops.
Yes.
Kind of like the sun. So it's just a fascinating, story that we've created about that. And we've incorporated some animals and obviously the giving part of it, and it really revolves around the food. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach the children to give, the meaning of giving. And the second piece of that is, keeping the body healthy to the point where they are always happy and joyful and loving. When your body's happy, that's typically how you feel good. Yeah. So we're trying to incorporate all that into this book. So it's good food. And Whole Foods we're working with. We're going to be working with them, a great deal with the book.
That's huge.
Because, it's about the food.
Now, how did you get connected with Whole Foods? Tell us. Do tell.
Do tell. Well, I walked in and,
and asked, right?
I found the lady that had the badge that said 18 years with Whole Foods, and I said, that's the woman I need to speak to.
Well, no, was she a manager? Or?
Yeah, she's a manager.
That's perfect.
So, and I just asked her, and it's such a nice feeling with the book when you do something and you're paying it forward.
Right.
There's no selling to it. It's just
it
It
just is.
just
It just
is.
is.
It's a natural
And I like
thing.
how relaxed you both are, because the more relaxed you are, the more things are going to come your way.
I do feel that.
Yeah,
It's
and
a great
you keep yourself grounded. When authors come in, you keep yourself grounded, and then you give, and then you shall receive. So, it's so true.
It is true.
So true. So, what's the title of your new project?
So the Giving Gnome's Harvest is the title. Yep.
Okay.
So Whole Foods is extremely excited, and we're working with that whole piece to do a signing. They're going to have a festival of some sort coming in November. So that's going to be great.
Okay, well, we better get cracking on this book. And how far
I
along
get the best publisher in town, so I'm not worried about
faster because the school that my other grandchildren go to is having a fall festival in October on the 21st, and they would like to see the new book as well. So I don't know if we're going to make this deadline.
Yes. Now, how many art pieces are you working on for this particular project?
I'm really not sure how many.
There is roughly about the same as in this book. It's going to be about 24 pages. We're going to keep everything similar.
Okay. Same location as where this one is?
Yes.
Same location? Okay.
Yeah.
Different season, so there'll be
the colors are going to be
different.
October-y.
It's
That's
gonna
a
be-
word.
October. That works.
Why does, we're going to go back to this one, but why does the story take place in the snow? If you can tell us about that.
I grew up in New Boston, New Hampshire, where there's obviously a lot of snow, and I guess growing up, taking adventures through the forest. I grew up on like 30 acres of land, and that's my dad owned. So we were constantly adventuring out through the forest and the beaver ponds, and just building teepees and fires out in the snow. And it's a really magical place, and you really don't understand the magic of it till obviously this age now with this creative side coming back to me. All of the things that happened back then, all the little adventures and the things you see, and the animals and the weather conditions. So I just had to have the gnome. It just seemed like it was the right thing for him to be in the snow with his little log cabin in the fireplace. It's just that warm, cozy
it's so
feeling.
Endearing. Yes, it's so endearing. I love that. I love his home.
Of
And
course,
animals.
his really, really, really long beard, which is how he keeps the other animals warm.
Right. And that's the story, and that's how he gives. It's wonderful. So can you tell us a little bit about the wool needle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So excited about this guy.
Okay, good.
And he's on our Facebook page. He's traveling around. He just got back from Vacaville, California.
Oh, did he have a good trip?
He had a great trip. He was a little pulled apart when we came back with all the kids, but we did a signing out there, and the kids just love him. Yeah. I mean, there's no plastic. He's 100% handcrafted, organic wool, and he's priceless. And obviously, his little stake in the hemp, everything's natural. So we have a very good friend, a local friend who hand makes these.
She makes them for the Waldorf school.
Oh, okay. Just for the Waldorf, or can anyone purchase
Anybody
them?
can buy them.
Okay.
She's incredible.
I bet it takes her a while to put this together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not too bad. She's so quick at it and thorough. It's probably about 3 or 4 days that she can create this. But she started making them for me, because each one is obviously not the same.
I love an author that has something to go along with their book, because people love that. I mean, grandparents, parents, and teachers that come in, they can actually buy us something for the book. It's a good conversation piece and circle time when you're reading.
It really is. We pass them around.
That's great. That's great. Now, is she going to do another one to complement the colors for the next book, or do you think she'll stick with?
Well, what we're going to do is. He's going to actually be holding a orange. I mean, pumpkin. It was orange.
You're so a Florida boy.
I know.
No, I'm the Florida person.
So he'll have a pumpkin that's going to go with him. So that's going to kind of symbolize the harvest book.
Now you have proceeds. Your proceeds for this book. I know authors get royalties on a quarterly basis from Pepper Tree, and you have a special plan for your royalties. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about that?
We're definitely keeping the giving concept alive. We want to pay it forward, give it back. We want to primarily stick to the children and animals. We feel that's just obviously the book is for the children. The concepts for the children, and there's animals in the stories that he's able to give to the Giving Gnome. So that's really what we want to push our donations towards. And we're working with the SPCA and even like the Waldorf schools within the country. We've already been, starting the dialogue with them and how we can set that up and how it's going to work. So we're pretty happy about that. We really want to make a statement. It's a movement. We're calling it the Giving Movement, and what our goal is to. We have a web page and a Facebook.
What's your web page? Let's hear that.
Yeah, so it's thegivingnome.com.
Okay, that's easy.
So we're very excited about that. Yeah. And he's on Facebook, The Giving Gnome. So click like and follow him. But the movement. So we've started making bracelets, purple bracelets, like Armstrong bracelets, so to speak, and they'll have "Go Give" on it. So and they come in children's sizes. So we want the kids to really have it like a symbol, to do something, and then to kind of follow the lead of the Giving Gnome.
Okay, you have been busy.
Yeah.
You have not shared this with me. This is great. This is the first time I've learned this too. We are so excited for you. That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, we have a lot of great things happening with the book. We've contacted a lot of people, and we're going after some airlines.
Really?
Get a mandatory reading on the book in the planes. Coloring pages that we've created. We're pushing those into the restaurants. We want to really make it a movement.
Yes, absolutely.
We feel it's a good cause.
Did you contact the Waldorf schools in reference to putting the book on their website as well?
We have. In fact, they'll be in the Christmas, the holiday season, all the Steiner catalogs.
Excellent.
And it'll be on the website. It's going into all those publications, so it's going to be pretty incredible.
Tell us real quick your website.
thegivingnome.com.
And your Facebook page. You can go on there as well and follow them around, kind of like Flat Stanley.
Yeah, The Giving Gnome. In fact, on the web page has the Facebook bar, so you can just click on there and so you can follow them around.
Well, I thank you both for being on the open book today. I so appreciate it. We'll be back with our next guest, Beverly Koosman. Thank you so much.
Thank you.